Konnichiwa and irashai. Welcome to Culturally Distressed. I'm Miyoko Sakatani. I'm a second generation Japanese American or Nisei, and I'm a straight baby boomer. And I've been culturally distressed all of my life. And, welcome and thank you for joining us for this wonderful original podcast where for anybody who's culturally curious or challenged um, with your identity or anything else that's related to culture. And I'm so happy to introduce my lovely co host, Loic.
Oh, thank you, Miyoko. Hi, everyone, and bienvenue. My name is Loic Pichot, and I am a French-American gay millennial, which, also makes me pretty much constantly culturally distressed.
Yes, and yes, I haven't seen you for a while. So, what's
I
new?
know, yeah.
What's happening?
What's happening? I celebrated Halloween in WeHo last Friday,
Okay.
which was a lot of fun.
You know,
Um,
some people may not know what Niho is.
WeHo, sorry, West Hollywood. Yeah. So yeah, you're right. For people who are not familiar with LA, what's happening every year is that there's a big block party in WeHo. They close down several blocks of Santa Monica Boulevard, and everyone just goes out dressed for Halloween, and it's always so amazing to see all the amazing costumes out there. Um, and yeah, it's a fun time. It's very crowded. It's a bit insane, but it's fun. And as I shared with you, I was going as a inflatable frog.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, as a tribute to the Portland protest frog. And I had so much love that night. It was so funny. So first of all, I thought there would be like a few of us, and I was the only one. And a lot of people, which is funny because it's a very basic costume, but people really love the reference and connected with it. So many people actually stopped me to ask me to take pictures with them. And some people were like, making signs at me as I was going around. So it was a fun time. Yeah.
Oh, how great.
So what about you? Yeah, I assume you told me you didn't celebrate Halloween, right?
Yes, but I wanted to ask you about your trip to France. So you had a wonderful visit with your family.
Yes, it was great. Yeah, I spent roughly 10 days in France. I wasn't on vacation. I was working from there. So, I had some meetings at night and some work to do, but it was still nice because at least I got my, morning, early afternoons with my family. And it was a school break, so we were able to, all meet at my parents' place. So yeah, it's always nice to, just have some family time, especially as we, head down on the holiday season. So yeah, I'm very, very happy. And then I spent a few days in Paris, as I, always do. I love Paris. I have tons of friends up there, and I
How
eat
far,
so many pastries.
how far is Paris from your home?
It's like a 3 hour
Oh,
train, yeah, train ride, or if you drive, it's yeah, 3.5 hours as well. But yeah, I love Paris. I just love that, city life when you just like walk around and um just like have access to amazing food and just amazing shopping too. I did so much shopping.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I've been a bad boy. You've been to Paris, right? We talked
Oh
about
yeah.
this.
Yes, yes. Many, many years ago.
When was that? Which
Many,
year?
many, many years ago.
Many years ago. Okay, so it probably changed.
We'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well, you,
But
you have to go back.
yes, such a beautiful country and beautiful people.
I would say so myself.
I
No,
really,
for sure. No, people know how to dress in Paris. I actually remember. It's kind of embarrassing, but um, so coming from the countryside, I moved to Paris for my grad school, basically, so engineering school, and I was 20 when I moved to Paris, and I didn't really have a good sense of fashion when I was 20 because I grew up in the countryside. To be quite honest with you, my mom was still picking most of my, buying clothes for me at that age. And then I still vividly remember the first time I actually went by myself, freshly moved to Paris, into the, central area, like fourth, third arrondissement. And I just felt so out of place with all these Parisian people who knows how to dress. It's so chic. It truly is. Like, it's those kind of places, I think it's true for New York as well, where people dress really nicely. And I felt so out of touch. And I was like, well, I have to get it together. I have to learn how to dress up. And I actually love it now. I do enjoy
So
shopping and dressing up.
good for you. You can dress yourself now.
Yes, yes, thank goodness. So, what about you? What's new with you?
Well, since you mentioned Halloween, so what we did was we spent a couple of days volunteering to help the young kids in the Chinatown.
Oh,
And
that's amazing.
yeah, one was a classroom of newly Chinese arrived immigrants.
Okay.
So this is their first exposure to Halloween.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we did some arts and crafts, and we had costumes, and we had a lot of fun.
Oh,
And then
that's amazing.
the other Halloween treat for the kids, for like 300 kids, was at a recreation center called the
Mhm.
Betty and Ong
Okay.
Chinese Recreation Center in San Francisco. And it's a wonderful gift for these kids. They do special events, but this was a Halloween treat for them.
Mhm.
And are you familiar with the name Betty Ann Ong?
I've definitely heard that name before, but I'm gonna need a refresher.
Yeah, so Betty Ann Ong was the American airline stewardess.
Okay.
I don't call them stewardesses anymore. Flight attendant.
Okay.
So she was the first to notify the authorities on 9/11
Oh, okay.
before they crashed into the World Trade Center.
Okay.
And so what happened was her family began this foundation, and they provide these special events, free events for seniors and for children. And so this was
Mm.
one of their events.
Oh, such a nice initiative.
Yeah, so it was a lot of fun because we got to play with kids and we got to dress
Yeah.
up, and it was really nice.
What did you dress up as?
This year I dressed up as a cross between a cat, a leopard, and a cheetah.
Oh, wow. That's
I had a lot of spots on me, and I had these ears, and oh, I had nose with whiskers.
nice. Well, I feel like we both had a very animal
Yeah,
theme for Halloween. Yeah.
remember I shared with you earlier that Halloween was not my favorite holiday.
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I do my best to get into the spirit.
Yeah. And it's nice that you shared it with, a sense of community, right? And being around people, which is the best way to celebrate.
Oh yeah. Well, talking about celebration, let's talk about the holidays because they're all coming up very quickly.
Hmm.
November and December, we got a lot of holidays to look for.
Yeah.
So, tell me about your experiences with the holiday
With
season.
holidays. Well, first of all, like there's so many more things happening in the US than in France because in France traditionally people will celebrate Christmas, New Year. We obviously don't have Thanksgiving. Halloween wasn't really a thing when I was a kid. Now it's becoming a thing, but my point is that I feel like it's like really December become like the holiday season with all the town putting the light decoration and everyone getting into the spirit of Christmas and obviously Christmas like French has a lot of Catholic history and tied to this religion, so
Yeah,
Christmas is very traditionally has been very celebrated in France, as well as New Year. But traditionally what you would do is that you would do Christmas with your family and New Year with your friends. I feel like moving to the US, It's been such a, I feel like it's more like a marathon, the holidays. There's just so much going on, and with Thanksgiving. But I would say I really love Thanksgiving, and I just have amazing memories of just like I don't know, just this thing. Like I feel like sometimes it's easy to get into the rhythm of life and not necessarily stopping and reflecting on the things you're grateful for. So
Mhm.
having this kind of ritual once a year and sharing that with your, closest friend, I think is very special. When I first moved to San Francisco, I made a lot of friends who were also immigrants.
Mm.
And so a lot of us didn't really, used to celebrate Thanksgiving, but we started celebrating together, and we would do, a Friendsgiving, um, and we would just everyone will cook something from their country of origin. So it was kind of like an international Friendsgiving thing. Yeah, it was really great, and but we really leaned into the American tradition, and we would actually share what we're grateful for. Yeah, if
I want to ask you about Christmas in France
yes.
because it's such a religious uh,
Mhm.
holiday. So, was there like a Santa Claus and stuff like that?
Yes, yes. Santa Claus is pretty big in France. Um, and then there's also, the whole like religious celebrations. I remember most years we would go to the Christmas Mass, which is, on Christmas Eve. So after dinner, you would go to church at like 9 p.m. When I was a kid, Santa Claus would come at night. And I remember okay, so I have this thing, and I actually still do it today at 40 years old, which is that if I'm excited about something happening during the day, my body will wake up super early. So I remember as a kid, I would just like wake up and straight out of bed, run to the Christmas tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very similar than in the US, right? We have the Christmas trees, decoration, the gift at the bottom of the tree. But then the later years we actually change. Um, and with my little sister, what we would do, Santa Claus will actually come during Christmas Mass. So we would actually exchange gifts after the Mass when we go back home. Um, so that was kind of the thing. I think we tried one year to even have an actual someone from my family dressed as Santa Claus for the kids and everything, but I feel like sometimes it's actually traumatizing for the kids to see an actual Santa Claus. So we had a mixed result
That is true.
with this approach. Yeah,
Yeah. Some kids get hysterical when
yeah.
the parents make them go see Santa.
Hmm. So, wait, what about you? So, did you used to celebrate Christmas as a kid?
Yeah, so I come from an Japanese immigrant family and Buddhist tradition.
Hmm.
So, but my mother especially wanted to give us some American holidays.
Okay.
So we celebrated all of the holidays. Nobody really understood the meaning of the holidays, but we just followed along with the turkey and the dressing, and the Christmas tree, and she
Yeah.
just wanted they just wanted to make it nice for the children.
Yeah.
And so, as children, I'm the youngest of six, and
Okay. Yeah.
had a blast. I mean, it was so much fun. Didn't really understand it so much, but we knew it was a wonderful time of the year. I think there's a song that goes like that. But
Yes.
yeah, so as kids, it was wonderful and memorable and so on. But as we grew into adults, things sort of changed. Because as adults, we all have our different personalities and interesting family dynamics. And I think many families can relate to this. And so
Hmm.
we started to have a little more difficulty during that time. And so it wasn't so much fun for me. Generally, I'm not a real big holiday or party person,
Yeah.
you know, and, I still participate and I still enjoy myself, but um, I just sometimes I don't feel like I fit in very well.
Mm, okay.
And that's with most parties, not necessarily holiday things. Then, I always had a hard judgment on myself saying, what's the matter with me, that I'm this way? And I thought, maybe my upbringing in a Buddhist home, in an immigrant home, maybe that had something to do with it. But then I came across a, a word called an empath. Have you heard of that?
I heard about that. Yeah.
So I never was familiar with that. So I started reading about it, and I thought, oh my God, that's what I am. I'm an empath. And it really, I even started to cry because it sort of said, that's me, and that's okay.
Mm,
It's just a person who's very sensitive to big
yeah.
crowds and to a lot of noise. Um, and I said, that's what it's about. And there's nothing wrong with me.
No,
I'm not
definitely not.
I'm not like antisocial or anything.
Yeah.
But
So, oh,
yeah,
so sorry. Yeah. So I was gonna ask. So being an empath, yeah, makes it difficult for you to be in like group setting because it's just a lot of things for you to feel.
yeah, feel very sensitive to the energy,
Okay.
to the energy.
Yes. Okay.
And but on a one-on-one and stuff like that, and with family, people that my friends and familiar with, I'm okay with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Um, but I want to ask you your, holiday blues and holiday blessings. So, like,
Yeah.
what was like your worst experience,
My
and what was like the best experience?
I have one bad experience, and I'm sorry if it gets graphic, but I had on Christmas Day when I was a kid, I had the worst stomach flu of my whole life. And we actually started having lunch, and we also were eating, because friends, and especially back in the day, we were eating like foie gras. So, like the fattened liver of like the duck. I forgot about the English name, but it's foie gras in French. It's basic, yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is under a lot of scrutiny right now because it's very specific, particular
You're talking
practice.
to a vegetarian,
And yeah, I know. So anyway, so sorry, but basically, it's very like it's for people who loves meat and like it's really good, but it's
Yeah.
also like a lot. It's very fatty. It smells strong. And so I had a piece of that, and then the stomach flu start acting, and so I had to. I remember trying to run to the restroom right as I was trying to eat this, and I like threw up on the way.
Oh my
And I've never been that sick because for like, I'm not kidding you, for like 12 hours, I didn't go like 15 minutes without throwing up. It was insane. And
God.
like at the end, it was just spasm and anyway, because of that. So, first of all, two things. My parents actually decided at like 10 or 11 p.m. after the party to take me to a doctor because they were starting to get concerned with me, which is
Mhm.
also so funny to me that they're good parents, but I guess I came after a Christmas celebration that day. But anyway, it was just a stomach flu anyway.
Yeah,
So
you
yeah,
ruined everybody's Christmas.
I will be, yes, basically. But then I remember I was disgusting by foie gras for like years and years and years, and it took me like so long to actually like be able to
Mm,
eat foie gras again because just like I associated the smell and the taste of it to my sickness. So yeah, that was the most intense Christmas I've had for sure. Yeah. And I have another moment that I want to share. It's not a bad moment, it's more like a funny moment that happened to me.
yeah.
Um I I went to a Thanksgiving celebration once and it was very lovely, lovely people and all of that. But I actually was meeting the people on that day. So basically I knew yeah, I wasn't close with the people there, and it was a pretty big group. Um, but we had to do like the gratitude thing as a big group, which I really love doing that with close friends. I can get a little bit more shy with, a big group setting. Um, so I remember saying I was grateful, and I think it was something. I think I didn't want to go too deep, so I was like, oh, I'm very grateful for, my comedy career this year and, some cool stuff I've achieved. It was, like, which can come across as, superficial to some people, I guess. But it was still important to me. But then I feel like everyone was very serious, and especially people going after me. So the guy after me was literally like, well, I'm grateful I beat cancer this year. Um, and it made me feel so, I was like, oh my God, like people are gonna think I'm just insane. And then like a few like person, like someone else was in the criminal system, and he was like, yeah, I'm grateful this year because I was able to um like put this criminal on human trafficking to jail. And I was like, oh my God, those people have achieved amazing thing for this year, and I'm grateful for amazing things. And I just came up with, I'm grateful with my comedy. I was so embarrassed.
Oh, well, you bring joy to the world with your comedy routine.
I think it's an important thing, yeah. And to each their own. I would be a terrible criminal prosecutor, I think.
Oh,
So okay, so
boy.
what about you? What's your worst holiday stories?
Oh, I have so many I can't count them. No, not really. Just generally speaking, I've had wonderful memories. But I will tell you a
Nice.
story. So we moved up here, and both of our families were all in LA area,
Mm,
um, and Long Beach and the Valley, San Fernando Valley. So we're talking about 40 years of driving to LA area for our holidays.
yeah,
Yeah, so Christmas and if we weren't working, we're both nurses, so sometimes we had to work on the holiday. But
yeah.
generally, it meant a lot of traveling to the families. And but what happened was Richard was taking care of this young man in the San Francisco General, and he was in a terrible accident, and so he had head
Um,
trauma.
okay.
And he became very close with the family who was grieving because it didn't look like the boy was going to make it. He was 18.
Mm,
So they were, just wanting any kind of help, any kind of support. And well, Richard and I were into holistic health. We
mhm.
did workshops in our home, and we did energy healing. And so Richard started doing energy healing at the bedside for Polly, and it's called Reiki. So,
Yes.
um, yeah, so he started doing that, and what's wonderful about doing that in the hospital is that you're hooked up to all these monitors,
Yeah.
and so you can actually see the results of
Yeah.
hands-on healing. Because what happened is his heart rate would slow down, his oxygen would go up, and anyways, the family saw this, and they just and anyways, he did recover,
Oh,
although
wow. That's amazing.
he's quite disabled, but he lived.
Yeah.
So what happened was they started inviting us to their holiday parties. So for the last 15, 20 years, we went to every Thanksgiving and Christmas at their home. And
Oh, that's amazing.
it's a Jewish and Christian home. So they also had the Hanukkah. They celebrated
Okay.
Hanukkah, they had celebrated Christmas. And what was really interesting about, and it was wonderful for us, they embraced us as part of their family.
Yeah.
And what was interesting is it was also a very political home. So there was a Republican faction and a very Democratic. And I'm talking about the full spectrum. They were far left and far right.
Yeah.
So you can imagine there was some pretty heated conversations going on.
Yeah.
And I
Especially right now. Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, and so but, I felt right at home because this is sort of the way
And I feel like every family
family.
has those kind of like political differences.
Yeah, and it was good for me because I was kinda sad and, upset that why couldn't our family, my family, just all get along and,
Yeah,
you know, be on the same page with everything, and I thought I was, sort of judging my own family, and after my experience with this wonderful family, then I says, "You know something? This isn't just my family. This is like a lot of families." And
yeah,
that's okay because
yeah,
we all have different opinions, and as long as we could hear each other out.
yeah. Believe me, yeah. It's like international. It's the same in France. So,
Yeah, it's true. And it's sad, but it's sad when it breaks up families, though.
yes, yes, which I feel like has happened a lot lately. One of my friend actually works on this really, really amazing project. She's French American and she is doing a documentary on political differences within family. And
Mhm.
so she came to the US twice already. She's gonna come a third time. But the whole goal of the documentary is actually to try to organize a family reunion
Mm,
because some people stop speaking to one another,
yeah,
especially in the current climate.
yeah,
Right, it's very challenging. So, yeah, actually, I'd love to have her on the podcast someday when we are, when we
yeah.
have our first guests.
Yes, when we're ready to have guests,
Yes.
the lineup already. But anyways, let's get on to our culturally distressed moment. Ta-da,
Mhm.
drum roll. Da-da-da-da-dum. So, what was your culturally distressed moment you want to share?
So my cultural distress moment is putting Christmas decoration on November 1st. This is wrong. Christmas decoration should only go up on December 1st. I feel like especially in the US, November should be around Thanksgiving,
Yeah.
still celebrating fall and the fall colors. So I feel like it's too early for me. And I also love I don't know, I don't know. I feel like if it becomes, if to me, if we start, putting the Christmas stuff like too early, it kind
Mhm.
of like removes some of its magic.
Yeah.
So to me, it's really like December. I have to be in the mode, and it does feel very special. And
Yeah.
tied to that, I can't with hearing "All I Want for Christmas Is You" in November. And you know the song from Maria Carey? Yeah,
Yes.
especially because when I first moved to the US, one of my first job was actually in retail. I worked at Gap, the huge one that used to be on Market Street in San
Mhm.
Francisco.
Yeah.
That was my first job in the US.
Yeah.
Um, and
Hear it all day.
yeah, literally, my first day was on that job was on Thanksgiving. My second day was Black Friday, and yeah, they basically had a playlist, like a Christmas playlist, that was maybe 1 hour. So when you were doing like 8 hour shift, you would keep hearing the same thing over and over again, and
Yeah.
that song is very triggering to me for some reason. So I'm sorry for all the Mariah Carey fan out there. I just can't. And if I hear it in November, that's too early and that's not appropriate. So that's
So,
my
and so, and so, why do they do that? Is that to get people inspired to buy stuff for Christmas?
I don't know if they've done studies about it. Like I don't know, but I guess someone working at Gap somewhere in Gap Corporate decided to create a Christmas playlist that was very short and push that onto all the gaps. That would be my take. I have no idea. If one of our listeners had any in at Gap, I would love to get the answers to that and get to the bottom of this because that is a big problem.
I'm not sure it's just Gap though. I think it's probably all the major.
Yeah. And to be fair, I feel like All I Want for Christmas Is You. Every store has it on their playlist, on their Christmas playlist. It's just
Oh
it's
boy.
tough. What about you, Miyoko? What's your culturally distressed moment?
Well, something came up last week. I think we were talking casually, and I started singing autumn leaves in French. And and then you weren't that familiar with it.
Yes,
And
that's true.
in France, it's called the dead leaves, la feu. How do you say that?
La
Morte,
feuille, la feuille morte.
la feu morte. That's the title of the song.
Okay.
Anyway, what came up for me when I just started singing Autumn Leaves in French to you was an assumption that because you're French, you should know this song. It's like,
No, but now I feel like a bad French.
and I was so shocked when you said, "Oh no, I'm not." And so a couple of things came up for me. Number one, this how we make these stereotypic assumptions. I get it too as a Japanese. Some
Yeah,
people think because I'm Japanese, they mention the name of a town or some tradition, I'm supposed to know what that means,
yeah,
and that really annoys me. And but anyway, I did that to you, and so a couple of things came up. Number one, we make assumptions that if someone is a different ethnicity, that they should know everything about it, about their
yeah,
country. And then secondly, um, I realized about our gap, our millennial gap that we have,
yeah.
because the song was written what I forget 1930s maybe 40s. Anyways, it's an old song, and I
Mm.
think that's part of why you weren't familiar with it. And yeah, so I thought about that, but I also love the fact that we have this gap between us.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's what makes those conversations interesting.
yeah, it does, and but it did make me start thinking that you would not necessarily be familiar with things that are of of a time when I was growing up. Say,
That's a good point. But you know what? I'm gonna listen to that song tonight because now I'm very, very curious. I want to know who sang it. I want to hear it.
well, make sure you listen to the French version and the English
Yeah.
version. Yeah,
Oh, so okay, so it became. Do you know
yeah,
if it was it so it was first a French song
yes,
and
it's a
then it
French.
became
Yes.
they used to do that a lot back in the day. Like My Way is actually a French
Yeah,
song. Yeah.
that's another French song that I.
Um yeah. So that one I know because it's widely popular. But we used to do the opposite back in the day. Like they would actually take American song that worked well here and they will translate it in French and have French
Oh,
artists
yeah,
singing them. Yeah.
that, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And how about La Mer? La Mer, have you heard of that one?
La Mer?
La Mer.
I'm not
That
sure.
became a big hit here in English, somewhere beyond the sea. What's the name of that song? Beyond the Sea?
Bien de
Bobby.
say.
Bobby. Anyways, La Mer. Listen to
La
that.
Mer? Okay, I listen to that. So La
Listen
Feuille
to that.
Morte et la
And
Mer.
yes, listen
But
to
I
it.
got
You have to listen to it in French and also in English.
that's perfect. I got my homework, my French homework.
Oh my goodness. I think it's time to wrap this session up.
I think so too. As
Yeah,
usual, it was so lovely to talk to you today, Miyoko.
always lovely. Anyways, thank you all for joining us for Culturally Distress, and we really appreciate you very much. So,
Yes, yes. Au revoir. Thank you. Merci.
oh, do you want to make a plug for our podcast where they could catch it?
I'm not sure. We're live on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcast. And if you want to see the, highlight of our podcast, you can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at Culturally Distress Pod. And we also that's also the handle of our Gmail address. If you ever feel like you want to
Oh,
send us your culturally distress moment or anything, if
yes.
you want to reach out, please do.
Thank you for bringing that up. I almost forgot to mention that. We would love to hear about your culturally distressed moments. Because, let's face it, we're all culturally distressed in one way or another.
Hell yes.
So thank you again. We appreciate you. Take good care of yourself. Aloha.
Bye.
Be well.